Welcome to the Church in the Wild podcast. You'll be hearing the words from worship from Sunday, February 1st, where we celebrate Imbolc and we begin our month of our Soul Cafe, sharing the things that speak to our souls. If you want to learn more about Church in the Wild and all of our upcoming events and programs, just go to churchinthewild.org. Thanks for listening.
February, we're sharing the things that speak to our souls, the things that keep us afloat right now is how I'm also phrasing it. Like not just in general, but maybe right now in the madness of this world, what feels like a life preserver? What form of art, a song, a movie, a photo, a poem, a quote, what thing do you have taped to your bathroom mirror that like you just need to remind yourself of? That helps you get through the day. So that's my prompt. You got one. Tell us.
The monks. Those wonderful monks. I saw the monks on Facebook and I'm just intrigued. Yes. They're cheering me up and I have been really down in the dumps. So they're just cheering me up.
Can you?
I went off Facebook. So tell me. Yeah. Okay. There's a group of monks and Buddhist monks, and they started in Texas and they have been walking for like 26 days or something. I could actually get more facts on my phone, but basically they've been walking from Texas and their goal is to go to Washington, D.C. And they don't have like a program I don't think they want to see anybody. I think it's just they want to get to Washington. And they're peacefully walking. They're giving people flowers. They have a dog that joined them. Somehow, somebody got the dog in India. And you know how like dogs are like disposable in India? Yeah. And he was going to be disposed, but he started walking with them. And I guess other dogs had joined them before, but they'd join him for a while and leave. But this dog just kept up and kept going. And he's called, I think it's Alota, something like that. Yeah. And now I think they're even doing t-shirts and stuff, but it is just so cool. And then sometimes they will meet like in churches or schools and they'll talk. And it's basically, I don't know an awful lot about Buddhist things, but I've always admired it, and they gave like some simple breathing exercises, it wasn't even complicated. It was just like breathe in and then breathe out. And then even just do it to the nose each time. And then next time do it twice and go up to like 15. But like do it, don't do it up to 15 the first time, and focus and, they're staying in the now and the leader monk and, he had some health issues, but he's still hanging in there and he's youngish. There's some younger ones and some older ones, but there's something about seeing him walk down the street. Honestly, it makes me cry, but happy tears. It's just beautiful that they're doing this.
That is the perfect example.
Okay, I'm sorry to get you off.
No, thank you. That's perfect. And yes, that is a form of art, I think. It's like performance art, but it's also like prayer. Like they're just walking for peace. That's what I understood it as, is like this peace pilgrimage to the place that needs it most, maybe. I don't know. But they're just peacefully demonstrating and walking. And actually Dennis, who joins us on Zoom from time to time, he's not here today. He said they came to his church. He's in like Maryland. So he got to meet the monks. So we're going to get started with none other than Hannah. So I have a question first. Do you want us to hear the song first, or do you want to talk about it first? Okay, so we're going to hear Hannah's song. Tell me what it is again.
The song, What It Sounds Like from the movie KPop.
What It Sounds Like from KPop Demon Hunters. Love it. All right, Hannah, tell us.
Well, and the reason that I picked this like as my like soul song is because when a song can get you in your feels when you're only half paying attention to it because you're babysitting a 3-year-old, it's a good song. And I actually found out about this movie because a few months ago I was helping my mom and my sister babysit my younger cousins, and one of them was like, she wanted to watch this movie on repeat, but she also wanted to only fast forward to the parts that like she liked, and then also wanted me to play with her. So like I heard this song a lot over the weekend, but like not in context. And then like a few months after, I was like, I should sit down and like watch the movie, and it got me even more in my feels, like in the context of like the movie. But like it just is like a really fun, upbeat song. And honestly, I feel like in the chaotic world that we live in, you just kind of need more fun, upbeat stuff. So that was kind of my rationale for putting that as the piece of I picked for this. And then I was debating, do I just play the song or the movie clip? And then I'm like, well, we're talking about art, and film isn't art, music isn't art, so both. And so yeah, that was basically my reasoning behind picking that one.
Yeah, what was it about the song that spoke to you?
I think it was kind of because like I'm trying to think of what it was initially, because like I said, I was kind of half paying attention when I first heard it. It was kind of the kind of good vibes of it, and the I could kind of I kind of picked up on the message of it at first a little bit, and then obviously listening to it, like watching the movie on my own and stuff, I was like, oh, that kind of, like made like the kind of power of friendship and stuff like that, vibes of it kind of hit even more. And also I think it's interesting that Church in the Wild has been kind of talking about how everybody needs a village, and then like my online friends, we've all kind of said we all kind of consider each other kind of a miniature village in a way. And so then I feel like this song sort of fits into that a tiny bit, in the sense of about, because part of it, I'm trying to think of how to talk about this without giving major movie spoilers, because okay. Nah, that's fair. So basically, the main plot of the story is the 3 main characters all had stuff about themselves that they were hiding from the world, basically. And then one of them was kind of hiding the fact that she was also part demon for it's never really explained why in the story. It kind of isn't. And so from the her other 2 friends that they fight demons
Say hi,
together with.
Mace.
And
Say hi to everybody.
They so then that song is them feeling more comfortable being honest with each other, and with
You want to go outside?
how important it is to be yourself and stuff like that. And I definitely think that that's an important part of having a village, is feeling comfortable around people and whatnot. You're welcome.
There's rich layers there.
Yeah, I also like the musical arrangement too, but then also the meaning. There's so many layers of meaning too. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Barb says her grandchildren are obsessed with it. But it is a great song. I'm excited that kids are so into this movie. That seems like it has really great messaging behind it, not just for positive things, but hey, we're who we are because of our scars. That's what I heard in that song. And we can still, we're not heroes, but we can survive. And I think that is a huge message we need to teach our children more, that we don't need heroes, we need helpers. So thanks for sharing that with me and all of us. Next up, we have Jackson. Do you want to show? Okay, so talk, and then we have a photo.
Yeah, but at least a photograph.
Yeah.
So to be honest with you, friends, hey everyone, I've been disengaged for a bit, and so I didn't really understand the prompt. But it was like she was like, okay, share photographs, so that means a lot to you. And I was like, okay, well, this is very timely for the season I'm experiencing. So basically, when I think about one thing I think is very interesting is that we take so many photographs now. Like we're taking photographs every day. Like people are taking like 50 fucking photographs in like I'm sorry, 50 photographs in like one session to just to get the selfie they like, right? Like it's crazy how many photographs we're taking. And but when you think about it, like photographs, they used to be like family heirlooms, things that were like they were expensive to get. Like even in the 80s, like you had to go to Sears or whatever and like do this whole thing. And so they used to be things that you actually cherished, you would frame versus just kind of having and probably never looking at. So something that I've kind of started doing is actually utilizing my phone's obnoxious slideshow feature. Does anyone have an iPhone that does that? It's really annoying when it shows an X, but outside of that, it's fine. But basically, because sometimes it's like, oh, let's just make you really sad for no reason today. But recently, my phone did like a slideshow of a trip my brother and I took, and it like really, it did take me back to that moment that we had together. And like you think about it, sometimes we take these photographs and never look back at them, and sometimes we also don't see like we don't realize how special a photograph is until time passes. So what I want to share is a photograph of my twin brother. You guys probably don't, we don't look like twins, and it's kind of far away. You can show it. This is my twin, my womb mate. My mom hates when I call him that. I think it's very funny. Yeah, I think it's great. He thinks it's funny. Okay, so this is in Zion National Park. So we went to, and the reason this story is special is because my brother and I are very different. So my brother and I, we used to be very much the same. So we were groomed and we were raised within the Baptist church. And Justin and I both went into ministry together. We were both pastors at the same church for the first 2 years of our ministry careers. And we were very, we were very devout. Like we were teachers at the same Christian school. And then I converted to Pentecostalism, which I thought made me more progressive just because women were allowed to preach. And then I kind of went my separate way. But Justin has stuck it out in ministry. And Justin is, yet again, an amazing guy. Like but he's also like politically very distinct from me, religiously very distinct from me. But what I think is very special is this photograph is when I left the ministry, I got really caught up in drugs and alcohol just because I couldn't really keep my mind straight. And when I hit like a really kind of rock bottom place, Justin was like, I got PTO. And he took a month off of work. And we just went to national parks. And it was like, I wasn't drinking. Like, I was like, this was probably like 15 days sober, right? And on this photograph. And it was just Justin like building like this distraction, kind of like, hey. And what I thought was cool is that we drove around because you're driving a lot national park jumping, like, they're not close to each other, right? So you're, going, from like Bryce Canyon to Flagstaff, that's, 5 hours. Even though you're allowed to go 90. And, but if you've ever been out there, it's so fun. But so Justin and I, we spent a lot of time in the car, and a lot of it was actually, he was trying to like understand my theology, and he was like being very, he was trying to like hear me out. We talked about the existence of hell, the acceptance of LGBTQ people. And like, anyway, it was just really beautiful, like that we got to have these like really serious conversations while also just having a lot of fun. Because one thing that we haven't, like one of the few things we have in common is that we both like national parks. I would say it's like one of the only things we have in common. We both like national park. We both really like fried chicken biscuits. That's like our favorite breakfast. But outside of that, it's really fried chicken biscuits and national parks. And so, and the woman and our mother and our delightful mother. And but yeah, so anyway, when I was thinking about like this was something very much on my mind. And I'm gonna like this is kind of like, I'm actually moving back to be with Justin soon. And like I'm moving to Atlanta next week actually. And it's Justin is being deployed, and he needs someone to watch his house. But we're gonna be like, seeing each other on the weekends and stuff again. And I'm just like really looking forward to it, even though Justin very much like, you know, he and I can be sometimes like so head buddy, but at the end of the day, like we're twins, like, you know, it's that family, you know, that family bond, that the value of connection. And what I thought was so cool about this trip is we connected with nature, but more importantly, we connected with each other. And it reminded me of something that we say a lot in addiction recovery programs, that the opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it's connection, right? Most people drink or use because it is a way to find connection or to distract themselves from lack of connection, is one of the most common reasons people do this. And so it reminds me, for all of us, like kind of the little, you know, what is it, the sermonette in this all is that, you know, we all struggle with addiction in some way, you know, some people more than others. And if you find that it is something that is hard for you, even if it's addiction to obsessive thoughts, overthinking, it doesn't always have to be something as dramatic as ecstasy. But like whatever it is, understand that the way to confront that is with authentic, healthy, secure connection. And it doesn't have to be connection with a person necessarily, like it can be connection with nature. But if you find yourself in a place where you're feeling disoriented, you need to ask yourself what you're connected to. And that's kind of that's what triggered sharing this photograph in front of that cactus.
All right. Well, we have one last sharer for today. Dolly has a poem and a song. So which would you like to do first? Okay. I'm going to clip this on you. How about that?
Okay, that sounds good. Because I have to hold the book. Well, when I was thinking about this, I thought, well, of course, if it's a poem, it has to be Mary Oliver. So now, which one is my favorite? And this is only one of her books, and if you could see it, there's many markers and dog ears, but I keep coming back to this one that I think I have shared in this community before, and I know I shared it a couple of times when I was leading a church, and I think it was either during Advent, yeah, it might have been Advent that I used it. Toward the end there, I was feeling especially kind of and a little frisky, and I said, well, I don't care what people think of it. I'm using this, and they're going to hear it. So anyway, it's Mary Oliver, Of Love. And then when you hear the song, I'll add a further comment. So Mary writes, I have been in love more times than one, thank the Lord. Sometimes it was lasting, whether active or not. Sometimes it was all but ephemeral, maybe only an afternoon, but not less real for that. They stay in my mind, these beautiful people, or anyway, people beautiful to me, of which there are so many. You and you and you, whom I have had the fortune to meet or maybe missed. Love, love, love. It was the core of my life, from which, of course, comes the word for the heart. And oh, have I mentioned that some of them were men, and some were women, and some, now carry my revelation with you, were trees, or places, or music flying above the names of their makers, or clouds, or the sun, which was the first and the best, the most loyal for certain, who looked so faithfully into my eyes every morning. So I imagine such love of the world, its fervency, its shining, its innocence and hunger to give of itself. I imagine this is how it began. And I imagine it was. And the song is John Denver, who is my go-to guy for feeling good and feeling uplifted. And it's called Perhaps Love. And it describes all the different aspects of lovers, as many as he could think of. and make rhyme. And it's love is all those things and more. And love is everything. I'm one of those that will say love is everything. Love is what we're all made of. And so love. Be a monk. Go walk in love and peace to Washington.
So I'm going to invite us into a time of some meditation. And this is a guided meditation for Imbolc for this day, this midwinter St. Bridget Candlemas celebration. This meditation was written by Julie Peters. And so there's a little introduction and explanation of this day. So use the first minute here to start to relax and find a quietness inside and a sense of presence. Welcome to Imbolc, the ancient Celtic festival of early spring fire. It is a cross-quarter day, which means it's the midpoint between the winter solstice and spring equinox. The word Imbolc means in the belly, referring to lambing season when sheep's milk first became available after the long winter, where food sources were scarce. This festival has also been associated with Bridget, who holds the sacred fire, who protects women and domesticated animals. This is the moment in the wheel of the year when the energy of new life begins to return. It is like the dawn. The sun has not risen yet, but the first light can be seen. New life is returning after a season of death. The first signs and signals of spring begin to become available. The days are getting longer, and hope starts to feel possible again. On this sacred day, we invite our own inner fire to return to the world and bring life and energy back to our bodies, hearts, and spirits. So if you haven't already, take a moment to get comfortable. You can do this meditation in any position, but it's always helpful to sit tall, upright, but not uptight, to find comfort and to gently close your eyes or find a soft gaze. And if you would like, you can place your hands over your solar plexus, which is around your stomach, just above your belly button. Bring some attention and awareness to that place of your body. And take a moment now to consider the earth, this land that we are on. Consider your relationship to this land. Depending on where you live, there may or may not be any signals of spring coming through yet. But imagine you could feel the energy of the earth beneath the snow. The fire that sparks beneath the dirt that will inevitably turn into spring and summer. Take a few deep breaths, imagining a circle of protection around yourself. Only energies that are in alignment with the highest good are welcome within this circle. Everything else will be filtered out. Now imagine a spark beneath your hands, right at the center of your body, your core. Breathe as if your lungs were bellows, able to fan the flame of this little ember. Let your breath invite the heat and the hope of a new season to grow. As you continue to breathe life onto this spark at your core, what dreams, wishes, intentions, or prayers have you been sitting with over this dark season? Is there something that you'd like to be growing or cultivating as the light of spring grows longer? Consider these desires, intentions, and prayers as you breathe this little spark into your belly. You may still be working with dreams and desires, or you may be able to consider some actions. Think about what steps might feel right to take around these dreams. What is the next step now or in the next month as you walk towards spring and towards the answered prayers of your soul? Trust that your energy to move toward these things will only grow as the world warms up again. Now, return your attention to the earth once more. Remember the magic faithfulness of spring, which always returns. The capacity of the land has to move through seasons to grow, to live, to die, and to be reborn again. Take a moment to give thanks now to the land that you're on. Take a moment to show yourself gratitude for nurturing your prayers and intentions. And finally, offer your gratitude to that spark in your belly, to your breath, to your source of life through all the cycles of the seasons. We give thanks to the great love who animates our universe, who is present within us and leading us forward into a new season, not just in the world, but in our lives together. Hold on to this warm spark in your belly, knowing it will continue to grow and strengthen as the days grow longer and the season warms. Trusting you can return to that light, that warmth, that fire of presence within you whenever you need it.
Thanks for listening. If you want to support Church in the Wild and the work we do in striving for environmental and social justice, just head on over to our website, churchinthewild.org, and click the donate link at the top. There you can make a donation, set yourself up as a recurring supporter, or you can buy something from our Redbubble shop. We're so glad you're with us on this journey, following the Spirit through creation, adventure, and restoration. Until next time.